Hello, I'm Ryan Seacrest, and welcome to the 2040 season of American Idol, the presidential election. As a reminder, since Congress officially incorporated America in 2034, all candidates must possess an advanced business degree from a top-flight American institution in order to qualify for the presidency. Now, as a reminder for the audience, graduates from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton Business School were declared permanently ineligible for the presidency following the events of 2020. All right, well, let's meet our candidates. Starting with our candidate from Harvard Business School and current incumbent, Rupert Murdoch III. Rupert, your opening statement, please.
Thank you, Ryan. Since passing legislation criminalizing living below the poverty line, America's average net income has skyrocketed. I plan to continue my success at eliminating poverty wholesale in this country by buying Australia and turning it back into a penal colony. The homeless, people making minimum wage, and retirees will all be sent to live out their days on the island continent.
You really seem to hate poor people.
No, I really do. I really do.
Okay, moving on to our candidate from the Elizabeth Holmes Graduate School of Business, formerly known as Stanford, Christina.
Thank you. I've started over 200 businesses and want to make sure that the new America is my 201st. They say that failure is the best form of experience, so one might say that I'm the most experienced candidate on the stage today. I look forward to creating an agile government capable of applying big data, machine learning, to tackle our biggest issues as a society.
Well, a failed country might honestly not be the worst idea at this point. All right, well, let's move on to our candidate from MIT Sloan, Human Personson. Human?
I am expressing gratitude for the words that you have said. Logic is the only way to make accurate decisions, and the election of me, Human Personson, is the optimal decision for the other Homo sapiens that reside in this country.
You know, I'm just going to call you Rosie, because honestly, that was just incredibly riveting. All right, now to our last candidate from Chicago booth, Miley.
Thank you, Ryan. As someone with a degree from the University of Chicago, I know the value of open markets, having studied with dozens of Nobel Prize winners during my time pursuing my MBA.
I didn't realize you had contributed to Nobel Prize winning work. With whom did you collaborate?
Well, not contributed per se.
Oh, I see. But you took classes from one of the many winners of the prize during your studies, right? And basically directly learned from the sharpest mind in economics, yeah?
Well, those classes conflicted with the foundations I needed to graduate.
Okay, but surely at least once during your 2 years at school, you went to their office hours to meet them? No? All right, okay. Well, hey, let's move on to the QA session. Rupert, you know, we've heard some pretty disturbing allegations the past few days about theme parties you used to throw back in your day at Harvard. I got a list here. I'm going to go through it. Just let me know if any of these ring a bell. Let's see here. Cinco de Drinko, living on the border of alcoholism. Does that ring a bell, Rupert?
Oh, sure. If that's the worst you have, I mean, it was much more topical in 2020.
Yeah, maybe not the worst. I have more. Let's see here. Diwali Wonka and the Cocktail Factory outsourced the Oompa Loompas to reduce labor expense?
I think you could argue that that's educational, as it's objectively a sound business strategy.
Well, you know, I think that's plenty of evidence of your character. I mean, it's up to the voters to decide if that's damning enough to keep you from being elected, but somehow I doubt it. All right, Christina, you're up next. Look, you know, given that you've bankrupted over plus or minus 50 venture capital funds in your career, how do you respond to critics who claim you can't be fiscally responsible with the country?
Well, for my previous business ventures, I always claimed that my ideas were good enough that it would be like printing money. As president, guess what? I can actually print money. There's literally no downside.
Wouldn't you be worried about rampant inflation?
What's wrong with an inflated valuation?
Yeah, you know what, never mind. Human, you know, you've been accused of being a little too emotional on the campaign trail. How do you plan on keeping a level head when presented with tough choices in office?
My human heart does often beat at an increased rate. I have often found that when my emotions rise, it helps if I count to 10 billion.
You know, I mean, that seems like a reasonable strategy to me. You know, look, sticking with you for just a moment longer there, Human. Look, there have been some questions raised recently by certain candidates.
She's made in China, clearly. Check for a sticker. I know it's there.
All right, look, I'd like to give you this opportunity to respond on record to some of these accusations.
Thank you, Ryan. These allegations are absurd and false. I was assembled, born in Hawaii, and I was programmed. I mean, completed my undergraduate degree at Columbia University. I am happy to produce my birth manual as evidence.
You know what? I don't think that's necessary. Honestly, I don't know how anyone can be unconvinced by such compelling evidence. All right. Well, last but probably not least, we have Miley. Look, your polling data has been less than ideal since the start of your campaign, with many people saying that you struggle to connect and come off a little awkward in social situations. Anything to say to that?
Not sure why that should matter. I've been at the top of my class since middle school. Straight A's. So what if I've never been cool or I don't know how to read people?
The presidency is not a popularity contest.
Wow, you really haven't figured it out yet, huh? All right, well, there you have it, folks. Your candidates for the 2040 U.S. presidency. I'm sure everything will be fine. And with that, Seacrest out.